it's a deep pleasure to be here, and actually I have immediately to silkily tie in with what you've been saying, in the sense that not only are my family originally Huguenots, so there's that sort of overlap, but also my father, for a large part of his working life, worked in the brewery up the road, and Pam was his colleague there. And because today is my birthday, and I'm therefore thinking about my parents especially vividly, to have you, Pam, here as the sort of way of making him feel present is incredibly moving for me, and I'm so pleased that you're here. So it's really delightful in all kinds of ways for me to be here. I just wanted to say one or two things about libraries. At least I planned to say one or two things about libraries before I read you a couple of poems. But most of what I was going to say you said before me, so I'm going to know in a wonderful way. But I really wanted, coming off the back of what you were saying, to hold myself up, as I think we each could do, as an example of how lives benefit from libraries, as it happens. And I think probably now, rather despite appearances, my background was not a bookish one. My parents were country people who did country things, and made beer. But books didn't play a very important part in my life. My dad used to say, probably in your hearing, Pam, as well as in mine, that he'd read half a book in his life, which was The Lonely Skier by Hamid Innes, that somebody must have told him was a thriller, but not thrilling enough for him. My mum, who died a long time before my father, was more of a reader, but it wasn't a bookish background, and I wouldn't have led the life that I have led, and wouldn't therefore be standing here today were it not for two things. One is a brilliant English teacher who got hold of me when I was about 16, just walked straight into my head and turned the lights on. And the other is libraries. The school library first of all, then my university library. Then I went to work at, which was my first job at the university in Hull, where of course father led there by Philip Locking, who was a librarian. So all you librarians in the room, I know about you, because I later wrote Larkin's biography, as some of you know. And now that I live in London, London libraries of one kind or another, the British Library of course, but also the London Library itself, and my local library in Kentish Town, which is where I live. So they did give me my life in really quite a fundamental way, as they, as you've already described, give the lives to individuals here and everywhere where they're properly maintained. And they are things which we are going to have to speak up for more vigorously now than ever. All the virtues that you described, all the linkages that occur within libraries, in the sense that they now, when they're doing their job properly, which this beautiful revised building does so well, linkages in the sense of combining various overlapping activities, or activities which can be made to overlap, and very usefully do, but also in wider ways through the community, joining up all sorts of activity outside the building as well, giving all sorts of permission to lives to develop in the way that you were quite rightly talking about. It's very easy for people in government, at local and national level, to think, where can I save some money? Oh well, maybe libraries can kind of go off from that without people complaining about it too much. But they are crucial, they are absolutely crucial. And in order to make sure that they do fulfill all these roles that you've heard already described, in which we could only elaborate by agreeing with them, we need to articulate what those values are in exactly the way that you've just done. I mean, you don't need to be told this wonderfully, but there are other places that do need to be told it, and you just have to get out, get around and speak up for them, because they are soft targets potentially, and they need defending. So in that climate, it is really magnificent, especially magnificent, to come today to this refurbished, rekindled, reawakened, reopened library and be part of that. And I'm very grateful to you for allowing me to